Miss Catherine, I'm not no prostitute because I'm married. Cut the coochie off and see if you get the credit card. There's so many different levels. There's legal prostitution and illegal prostitution.
What's legal prostitution?
Now, where do I start here? Holistic prostitution. So anyways, what she basically, she summarized it really nicely, I think, and more importantly, it's coming from a woman, and a woman that actually helps women that are actually sex trafficked, you know? So as she said, there's levels to this, and that's why certain people are in denial. All we're arguing for ourselves is that at the base level, it is prostitution. The problem is not that prostitution is being engaged. It's the judgment of it, right? The judgment of the weaker sex, basically only having that to leverage for the most part, right? That's the most value we derive out of them. And again, that's not men's fault too. See, no one should feel guilty about any of this shit. The other problem is, we're not being honest, and that's why you'll hear her say this, that the marriage turns into relationship relationship goes to relationship, you know? And my theory is because, again, there wasn't an honest conversation about the trade of value, you know? So inevitably, she thinks he's not doing enough, or he thinks he's not getting enough sex per se, or the sex does dwindle, which usually seems to be the case, ladies. And men, the reason why a lot of these ladies, well, it all depends. There are certain men who are not awake, meaning they're not aware of how society has conditioned them and the environment has changed. And obviously, now because the environment changed, they also become de facto contributors to the problem, unless they stop basically going with, you could say, their base biology, reptilian brain, whatever, just thinking with their fucking dicks, basically, you know? So, because it affects men in general, but so at the end of the day, it does come down to, well, see, okay, here we go, right? I just said the word men. Obviously, we have an population explosion, right? That's just how it's going, right? Because of the, it's just what happens, okay, right? So every year I graduated from middle, basically every 4 years, right? After we basically, okay, so my generation, basically, or my class, right? In this particular whatever, but it's also, the data is there. I'm just saying that when we graduated, the school expanded, right? In middle school and in high school. You know, they just added more because there was more kids, you know? So basically there's a lot more boys than there are men, right? And also we have men, meaning by age, right? And then even then, okay, what is it? Well, see, there we go. I'm saying it depends on how you define a man. We can have different points of reference, like some people will say, okay, 35 because you can't even be president unless you're 35, right? Because by then you should have some decent amount of wisdom. So let's say, yeah, we'll say that's 30. To be a man physically, you don't become a man until you're 35, and you're a young man when you're from like 20s to 30s, right? From 20 to 35 or 34. And then you're a teenager, obviously, from puberty, whatever, 13. Let's just say 13, right? 12, because then the 13, 13 to 19. Yeah, 19. 20, 19. Yeah, to 19. All right, so yeah, there's a lot more of those guys, those males that are young, that grew up with the internet, socially awkward, all that stuff, right? Plus, women were told all kinds of garbage, and they're trying to follow what they've been exposed to and programmed to, right? And again, more importantly, what they have accepted, right? This applies to anybody, right? Whatever societal norms, traditions, and pressures, whatever you accept and act upon, it's all on you. I was exposed to all the same bullshit as you. I just chose a different path, and therefore I will have different results. So, the reason I came up, I guess, with the word holistic prostitution, it just came and it felt good, and I was inspired so much too quickly. I mean, I do that a lot, but I'm saying I felt extra powerful, and obviously I'm making a video about it. Because again, I was just talking to one of my coworkers, and technically my manager in a sense, but since I'm a subcontractor, technically I'm not their employee, so whatever. The representative of the company that I subcontract for, right? Who is basically the manager of that division. The word prostitution, basically, yes, I know it has a negative connotation, right? I guess in this case we would have to rebrand it, but I'm just saying all that word is trying to put a label on the observable phenomenon that men trade resources, right? Raw resources or cash, basically the exact same thing, because you're not going to get one without the other for the most part, in exchange for sex, right? Now, why they say it's not prostitution is because normally that word is also associated, when they see that word, they think of girls on the streets walking in, on the corner or whatever, dressed all fucking, like a prostitute, right? So, and because they're providing more value than just sex, right? Or they're providing other services, which does have a certain value. Oh shit, I forgot. Okay, hold on. Sorry, just gonna limit to 30 minutes. I know I'll get lost in this. Because they bring other values, therefore they're different, and they are different. They are different. But again, the baseline, right? The main premise of him even being with you is because you're attractive. It activates his sexual biology. It just activates the naturalness of life, right? So that's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand, especially with the conversation with God stuff, is our foolish condemnation of sex and also money, which keeps people broke. Yet certain people are trying to chase money, but their morals are going against it, so they never get money. Anyways, so that's why I like she said, like how she put it, cut the coochie off and see if you get the credit card, right? And the issue is, it's not that easy, depending on if you're in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship where you have no legal contract, but also that can vary too, because if you're in a state that does, where they automatically marry you, what's it called, civil marriage, right, or something like that, then that would be a factor, right? And then obviously if you're married, which usually what happens, basically the women do a rug pull or bait and switch, whatever you want to call it, from their husbands, and because he can't force himself onto them, and it wasn't clear in the contract, right? The law, the basically everybody's just playing stupid. That's just what I get so upset and just, oh my god. And I can understand why women do it. Why they're so reluctant to admit this, because first of all, because ultimately, even if they didn't care from the moralistic standpoint, it is by law illegal. So you can't. So even if they want to be straightforward, they can't do that. So I cannot blame them on that. Okay. What was I saying here? Sorry, I got hot before and I just got from work, and I was tired, and I just had my second meal of the day. It's a pretty big meal, so I'm just like Buffalo Wild Wings. No, not Buffalo. Wild Wings, or I think it's Wild Wings. Anyways, all right. So holistic prostitution, yeah. So yeah, I can't blame women for not being truthful. Husbands. So obviously the husbands, after that, I don't know what the law is, but they obviously can't force their wives to have sex with them, or else it's rape, right, by force. So yeah, which basically now creates a power disbalance. And so yeah, some women will be like, you know, just yeah, they'll just basically completely deny it from you, right? And I don't know what's worse, if complete denial, or she just does it, but she does it begrudgingly, like it's a chore, and just basically just lays there, you know. Which, you know, also to be fair, you know, the way our biology is designed, you know, it's mainly they really are meant to be passive, right? Again, that is what a female's supposed to be. The polarity of females, right, or that polarity, right? Right. Let's take the whole gender out of it. There's just the on and off, negative and positive polarities on batteries, right? And of course, as women are very touchy, but again, it's because men, you have created that environment. Okay, you have created the environment out of good intentions, right? Some of them is good intentions, and some of you is also sometimes what's it called? It's about knowing that if she's dependent on you, right, she should be fearful to leave you. Some of you think this but don't say it, and the most funny part of it all is that some of you may go from I love her, that's why I'm doing this, and she's there's some form of reciprocity that I consent to, and then all of a sudden, you know, as things evolve for whatever reason, there is a possibility that some of you do move into that position where you want her to be dependent on you. Now here's the other side, right? Is okay. Also, women have been told that yeah, if he truly loves you, he does everything for you, right? Or does the majority of the stuff. You know, it all depends, right? Because right, there are the women that grew up with their dads that called them princesses and like basically spoil them, right? There are men that spoil women, and those women come into the market, right? And funny enough, they say, "Oh, you want a mother to clean up after you, you know, blah 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 blah." It's like, and then when you flip it around, it's like, wait, well, it seems like what you want is a father, you know? So yeah, it's just like that. But that's why sometimes husbands and wives, some of them call, you know, he calls them ma, you know, ma, and she calls him pa, right? Because essentially, again, that's what they're trading. Again, this just, oh my God, what I'm just so baffled is, it's just like, how is this not so common sense and so, I mean, it's just how can we be in denial of this, you know, as a mass? But it is what it is, man. I just you know, whatever. I guess I just slowly accept humans and where they are at this thing, you know, at this current stage of evolution. So, but okay, so let's say at one point we do get to a point and the mass is like, okay, right, the majority of people, let's say 80%, 90% of them want to say, okay, well, what do we do moving forward? All right, and that's basically what I've been talking about, moving forward, okay? So, but it's really simple. All you gotta understand is the law of impermanence. You know, long-term monogamy is unsustainable. One of you or the other is eventually gonna want to cheat, all right? And basically ultimately what a healthy relationship would be. Well, first of all, you also never move in with each other. You always keep separate apartments, okay? So it's much easier to manage who's what and what's assets or whatever. If you truly want to give out of your heart, give out of your heart. But yeah, you guys have your own space so that when you need time, you can go away, right? Now some of you can communicate, but sometimes it's like it's not even about, hey, go be in that other, even if you have a big house, not even about, you know, her being all the way over there or him being all the way over there, right? Or him in his, you know, man cave and you whatever about the house, right? It's probably the kitchen. Or the master bedroom, in, you know, in their closets or whatever. Anyways, but yeah, it just, you know, but it's also about being able to express yourself, you know. Though a lot of guys, you know, they're lazy, so that's why a lot of guys just be like, you know what, and they don't care. Basically, you know, again, we're very simple, so that's why men, I understand why they let women run the house, right? Because we're very simple, right? All we need is that garage box or basement box, and we're pretty much happy, right? You can have the whole thing, because yeah, we're just, in general, men are yeah, simple, you call it minimalist, whatever, it is what it is, right? But again, that usually goes along with those that follow the narrative or the belief or tradition of marriage, right? Monogamy. Even though if they both work, which is usually the case more often than not, and obviously in our times, some, you know, they got the work husband, work wife, and it's like some of them are cheating already, but they go home and, you know, they've probably been in sexless marriage or whatever, sleep in different rooms or whatever, and just they're afraid of communicating. So that's the point. My ideal relationship would be a girl that basically, yeah, I don't have to buy her anything. Basically, it's like a male friend, right? But we have sex, and more importantly, safe sex, right? Oh yeah, here's the thing. We both get tested the day before, and then we have sex the next day, you know, or whatever, right? If there's some time apart, right, then yeah, because, you know, here's the thing, right? Oh, well, you don't trust me? Oh my God, the people that are, it's like, even though I know myself that what I say, I do. Okay, that's why I can't be friends with most people, because most people don't have that integrity. They don't have that discipline, right? And that's why I come off sometimes like an asshole, because that applies to other parts of my life. Okay, so, but if she's like, you know what, I'd rather be safe. I'd rather be safe. You know, maybe there are some past times where men lied to them, and that's usually the case. Again, I understand that from women, but when they still try to apply it to me, I'm like, you know, I remember telling my ex, I'm like, look, I fucking told you, right? Because we were fighting. I'm like, I told you, when I'm done, I'll fucking get rid of you in a second, right? Because I was pissed. But it's still essentially the exact same thing, you know. I told her, hey, this is not permanent. This is to get you on your feet, and we'll go from there, right? And she was all for it, but of course she forgot, right? So that's what I'm saying. I learned from that, put it on paper, right? Then I had this, and then I had a girl come, and I basically, yeah, I fucked up again, and she read it once, but I never actually finalized it and print. Wait, I did a revision, and she read it and whatever, and then I had the second girl come in that I was gonna, you know, that's why I was doing the revision, because, you know, life changes, whatever, and yeah, she was already, oh gosh, she just was already iffy about it and all these different things. I could tell she was, you know, even though she said, oh, I love girls, I'm a lesbian, da da da, as long as she's pretty, da da da. You know, I said, hey, you know, since you already been doing, you know, great quality service, whatever, right? You've been paying your dues. I'll let you have some say or whatever. She's like, oh, as long as she's pretty, blah blah blah. Then it turned from as long as she's pretty to fucking to her, you know, I want to make love to her too, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'll ask her. And she, you know, the other girl, she didn't say no, but when I told her, hey, basically she said this, she took that as a no. I'm like, it's not a, she didn't say no directly. All right, you gotta let her warm up to stuff, right? She has gotta get to know you, whatever. Anyways, I got the video of them, like, you know, whatever, right? And then they slept over. Was it the following night? Well, what was that? Yeah. The following night. Yes, exactly. Yes, that's what it was. Because it was my birthday, right? So yeah, you know, we're like, all right, you know, she's, you know, we can watch some anime, whatever. They all like anime too. Well, I guess she definitely didn't like anime, but I was telling her, okay, it's just like a movie. Okay, so so I liked anime, and the other girl liked anime, and okay, so first of all, the one that lived, we'll call her the domesticated, or the in-house, or live-in domestic service provider, and the potential next domestic service provider was being interviewed, so or being presented the offer to, you know, to provide her services, and, you know, of course, I just presented it to her. I'm not like, oh, decide now, you know. So she's like, okay, all right, I'll think about it, da 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 da, blah blah blah, or something like that. I forget what. Yeah, I mean, we had sex right after that, but Oh my God. Both these girls were the cheapest I ever got. And they were both good in their own qualities. The in-house, she just turned 19, right? And the reason why I allowed her to move in, you know, that's a big no-no, right? And again, I told this actually, hey, it's temporary, right? We're gonna get your own place. She's like, yeah, awesome. She agreed, right? She's like, yeah, I have my little brother still with my toxic family, blah blah blah. Yeah, she had a rough upbringing, but she still forgot that this is a business, and basically started arguing with me with stuff that I know she has no clue about, right? You know, it's like I just turned 37 and she just turned 19. I've lived in multiple states. She has there's a big age gap, right? And with that age also comes wisdom. And obviously, I'm in a whole other level. It's not a like it's not a chest beating thing. It just is what it is. I know the numbers. Hey, when I did all those, like, oh shit, damn, I am in the 10% of income, and obviously it's growing. And obviously, I was going to be rich anyways. You know, it's not to, anyways. I was saying, so, sorry, I had a brain fart. Tired. Need to go to bed. What was I talking about the whole? Anyways, yeah, the cheapest, slept together. Yeah, she forgot it was a business, right? And basically, she racked up two strikes right away with Rika, right? First, oh sorry, I said one of the said the other girl's name. Domestic service provider 2, right? Domestic service provider 1 racked up 2 strikes, right? Because first, the way she was just handling the onset and the introduction was okay. Oh no, the introduction was horrible. That's the point. Yeah. So the initial introduction when she was here, but she left to go hang out with her friends because it was someone's birthday, whatever. And she would drive my car, right? So she would have the luxury of driving my nice ass S5, right? So she went to do her friend stuff, and me and the other girl had our fun, right? So. Oh yeah. So then the next day, yeah, we go out to dinner for my birthday, you know. And we come over, we watch one anime, everything was going cool, and then we were gonna watch another anime. And what's her face was my in-house one was already just being kind of passive aggressive. I felt that the way she was acting was very different than normal, and I could tell it was jealous. So yeah, and then throughout the night, her stomach was whatever, and she was yakking and dry heaving, and just basically made the whole night horrible. So that was on like strike 2, right? And then we had a disagreement about the current state of the black community, you know. And basically my sources are from black people, right? So she just the amount of things she said to me, she's like, all those statistics are done by white people and this and that. It's like, oh my god. And mind you, this is not about judgment. All we're describing is what is observable and mathematically quantified. It's not saying that no one was saying that they should die or it shouldn't exist or that slavery should come back. No one was saying that. But I get it, in this woke virus, as Elon Musk puts it, that has infected so many people and primarily women. It's like, are you not listening? No one said any derogatory foul language. Well, no, sorry, there was some derogatory, but no, but it wasn't the N word, all right, for you, whatever. So plus I'm melanated, plus I got 5% black in my blood. So if I have one drop, I'm black. I just don't have I'm Mexican passing. Oh my god, the amount of mental gymnastics and shit like that, you know. Because the point is, one group, yeah, I basically, if you were to gather all black people, right, you would basically have 2 groups form. There will be some that would honor the DNA test, right, and say, okay, the test says you have 5%, right? The other group will be like, no, because you ain't dark, and more importantly, you don't have the critical phenotype or expression of nappy hair, right? So yeah, basically you'll never please everybody. Now the next question is, would there be more people? Let's say black people consisted of a million people, right? If there was 750,000 people that sided with me, what would that mean for the other side? Especially if that one side wants the few people in that one side want to hurt me because because of that, right? Because I don't have basically the black card, right? I don't get my black card with those people, and they may beat me up because I said, and not even the slur version of the N word, right? But just I don't know why I'm afraid of it. Well, see, I'm trying to build a habit. Well, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see if since YouTube basically will prevent your video from showing because of keywords or whatever. So, like grape, you guys say grape, scripper. I just find all these ways that people are trying to talk differently. But anyways, yeah. So I'm just like, you gotta go, and she fucking threatened me. But I got the video again. I'll release it eventually, you know. Once I learn how to do the blurring. Now that I do use DaVinci video editing, I haven't learned it for whatever. I just haven't. So much shit. I'm just more concerned about becoming financially free. Then I'll have the time to do whatever I'm inspired. Like now, but I'll be able to really go into it and not have to just worry about work and all this other stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna do the videos. I got terabytes of video, and that one was a very perfect case of what women will do, and also perfect case of like picking your battles. I'm like, okay, I know I can win, but I'd rather just pay her this stupid money that she's asking for, even though at that time, you know, my businesses were having some rocky roads, stuff like that, and whatever. I knew I can go back to work at any time, but still, you know. So I was trying to figure out with the capital I had, okay, what can I do still while and continue my education and finding my next move. So I'm just like, okay, even though I know I would win, this and that, blah, 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 I just said, just go. Like, get out of here, because, you know. Anyways, so what was the thing? Yeah, holistic prostitution. Yeah, so, oh yeah, it's just a word, people, right, to describe when, it doesn't even have to be women. It doesn't have to be women, too. That's the funny part. If the gay community, if another guy's buying another guy, right, or another girl, whatever, it's still the exact same thing, you know. And it's like, who is getting hurt? Where is this victim? The only victim is the people who have a moral judgment on it and think that God disapproves, and therefore they must punish you on behalf of God. Why don't you let God punish them after, if that's really true? You know, it's so ridiculous. Just again, there's some insanity out there. It's just, sometimes I'm just like, why the fuck did I incarnate? But at the exact same time, the greater the struggle, the greater the growth. No pain, no motherfucking gain. So holistic prostitution. We got 8 more minutes. Okay, let's change the work. You know, just sex workers, whatever. I switch a little more because she made some points here.
Legal prostitution is when you're married and you say yes and you exchange.
Exactly. What I've been saying for years, marriage is just legal prostitution. But now there's also other legal prostitution, and that is the Odell Film Company. Now it reminds me, okay, this is why I almost forgot. See, because I'm not scripting this, just, right? Like, if you were just sitting here with me, you know, I'm talking to you. And of course, you're sitting there, you came to listen primarily, obviously. And of course, this is actually better because you can stop, right? You can say at certain time and then put your rebuttal, you know. I used to like the days when you can put video. There was you know, it would show someone else replying to your video, whatever, right? You can tag the person, and those were the days. I don't know why they took that up. God, sometimes we just regress. It's so crazy. Anyways, so All right, why starting an adult film company would benefit men in general and especially high tier income slash high tier slash high income slash high status men, right? Pros. And I haven't done the whole wife and girlfriend thing to compare and contrast, but I mean this is pretty much what wives do for the most part, right? So I guess I guess I could put there no cooking or cleaning, but anyways. Pros: women must take and pass a 10 panel STD test. Now, of course, if you're one of those dudes that doesn't have a respect for yourself, and you find a girl that just doesn't have respect for herself, or she's in a desperate financial need and therefore she's doing what she's doing. If you don't request it, and more importantly for me, I go with the girl, right? So for me, actually, it may cost me more because if I'm not having sex with the same girl, right? Yeah, I'm gonna take the other girl. I guess you know what? I will try it. I'll try like, hey, okay, we're going. I gotta take you personally. Here's my report. If you feel like I should take it, but of course, I'll be for those girls say yes, you take it too. I'll be fucking racking up so many reports, right? And they'll know me at the place. They're like, oh, Dan, you're back again? I'm like, yeah, bitch. Yeah, baby. It's like, dude, if it's a guy over there, he's just going to be like, damn. And hopefully I inspire him, and hopefully I inspire you guys to a point where this just comes and finally is legalized. Or more importantly, way more importantly, as I was saying earlier about my ideal girl, right? That basically, yes, she has her finances. She doesn't need me for none of that shit. We just have orgasm for orgasm, companionship for companionship, and that's it. There isn't this de facto form of escorting and prostitution that happens with the so-called courting and dating and fuck out of here. So, and you can't write that shit off, So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the app I'm gonna create is called Bonobos. So it basically and basically what's gonna happen is you're gonna have obviously way more guys than women, but we have to start somewhere. So yes, it will be completely desbalanced, just like Tinder is so much more men there are women, and just it is. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think it's funny because it probably won't happen. You're gonna have a lot of ugly girls, but then again, since guys have a wider range of what they all have sex with, basically, yeah, the ones that are basically sixes, the sixes on those apps that think they're not pretty, whatever. Basically, people of the same sexual market value will line. Well, no, sorry, that's sexual market value. People who find each other attractive. No longer is a sexual market value there anymore because you're not exchanging money for sex, right? It's true unconditional giving of love, aka sex, okay? No strings attached, just let's try to pleasure each other, right? Because we both look good to each other, let's have fun, right? That's the ultimate. And I know I'm gonna get there, trust me. Oh, you have no idea what I've got cooking, So while I'm doing this, right, I am going to be building my satellite, but I'm still going to be doing the exact same thing with them. Basically, they have to pay for their own test, and of course, a lot of them are not going to do that. So I may have to pay that or whatever, and I'll probably figure a way to be able to write it off to a certain degree. But whatever, I'm going to have stupid money, and so that's just not going to matter. So anyway, so yeah. You can write off your expenses, all right? So guys who are who want multiple women or whatever, right? Even if you're in a relationship or not, whatever, right? But if you think you want a relationship or a wife, like, no, bro. Okay, so this is where I get mad with men, right? Some men are just as foolish as women, and they think they're going to be satisfied by their wife for the rest of their life, and it's just like, oh my god, And flip side is, yeah, if the guy doesn't have as high of a sex drive anymore, yeah, I would feel bad for my wife, So, but again, also I'll be like, well, fuck. Okay, so if she wants to be free, well then fuck. I can't. I have to go, right? We have to end this because I'm not going to feel that pleasant, especially if I'm paying the bulk of the relationship, right? the bulk, which is usually the case, like 9 out of 10 times, right? Like maybe 90% of the time, that's the case, right? Even if it's like by 1% margin difference, right? Yeah, I know myself. I'm just like, no, man, this is no, so that's why I'm going this route, because I'm just saying I think that's foolish, right? And I think it's and there goes the liability of having the wife, is that okay, you're paying all this in a sense for an unspoken expectation of her remaining faithful for the rest of your life, and when she breaks that promise, basically that's the promise implicit through marriage or whatever, right? You feel some type of way. Some men kill women to that point, right? Like recently we've seen some of them, or just happening, period. Every once in a while it percolates into people's whatever, the mass. Well, it's this one because he did it live on fucking Facebook. That's why it's different. Anyways, either way, it's happening. Sad, but that's what happens, men and women, when you don't effing communicate. Are there women killing men too? Yes. It's just crimes of passion, they call it. Oh my gosh, like, oh my god. Oh, the denial. Anyways, so yeah, you can write off your expenses. You can potentially generate passive income, because from what I've heard, basically in Pornhub or whatever, it's about views. Just like YouTube, it's a YouTube model. So the more views your video gets, you get cut a check. What it is, I don't know, but it's gonna be great finding out. You get to record your fun and potentially make money from it, right? You get to record it, guys, so you can relive it years down the road. Right? I like to watch myself perform here every once in a while, Anyways, that's a tragic story. I lost some videos, basically, okay? But now I learned, right? Every time the fire burns me in one way or another, it's just I don't lose, I learn, okay? Females can't, and this is a big one right here. Females can't accuse you of rape, okay? That's why even the bonobos, it'll be recorded, right? So that in case he does end up raping you or whatever, it's already uploading to a server, and so if he like kills you or takes your phone, destroys it, it's still in the cloud, and you can take, you can prosecute, press charges and whatever, right? And then he'll be banned from the app. So, but yeah, females can't accuse you of rape. That's a big one, man. Especially when you have lots of power. Especially, oh, dude, yeah. Yep, gotta record even if they don't consent sometimes, because it's like, hey, this is why. Basically, in those cases, it would prove like this is why those laws are stupid. That's why those laws are stupid, that you have to tell people you're recording them. Okay, no, you're not gonna catch people who are truly dishonest by that, right? And there's just too much slanted siding with women naturally, for better or for worse. See, I understand, but it doesn't mean we have to continue the insanity, okay? That doesn't mean I have to keep allowing people to make the same excuses. So anyways, you get older and they roughly stay the same age. If she likes your performance, she may even give it to you for free from time to time, So variety is the spice of life, right? Trade-off, okay, you get no monogamy, but again, most people are cheating nowadays, so is that even important? So to me, there's no trade-offs, right? If you're like some moralistic, whatever, have these concepts that you believe that the high body count, she's too imprinted or whatever. Well, of course, if you're looking for monogamy, of course, you're gonna think, some of these women who have a high body count, are basically trash. So they won't provide kids, but everything in life is negotiable. That's not that's not to say some of these girls wouldn't have a price to have a kid. Maybe they're feeling somewhat baby rabies-ish. Right, baby rabies a little bit, and yeah, so not all the girls obviously there. I mean, regardless whether you find a girl through the adult film company, or you hire a surrogate, right, or you have a girlfriend or whatever, you're gonna have to vet them, right? You're gonna at least obviously have some tests or whatever, right? Obviously get to know them, maybe do a private eye or whatever to see if they have any hidden life, for like a week or a month, to make sure, this girl is who she is, right? That doesn't guarantee that they won't change throughout whatever, but it's just a short span, Like for me also, like I said, like the way I plan to do is, she'll be with me while the 9-month pregnancy, and that way I can have a guard, basically make sure she's not hurting herself, doing anything that would hurt the baby, right? So yeah, you know, it's just yeah. Before I was thinking of having six domestic, what I call six domestic, de facto wives, right? Of each, because I wanted each ethnicity. But then when I did the logistics and all stuff, I'm like, and then the amount of money I'll be wasting, right? Because yeah, like even in the sugar baby world, if to have my healthy rate of every 3 days, right? And I know there'll be some times where I just like, you know what? I've had my fill, right? I gotta let this digest. I gotta digest this and like create some room in my stomach, right? And empty it out, right? So, but in general, every 3 days, so that's roughly about $60,000 a year, right? So, if I pay each of them, because basically, you know, if you're not paying all the girls' bills right, I can't blame them for not saying, you know, they won't do what you tell them to do, right? So, but yeah, I would have to pay, you know, $360,000 a year for 6 girls. Then I would have to pay maybe another 60 grand or 80 or 70 grand or 80 grand to a private investigator, full time, all the time, just doing the rounds, right? So that way it's random and shit, and basically you know, random or whatever. Yeah, random because yeah, it's gonna be see that's what I'm saying. Why even have to deal with that logistics, right? Where you have the guy where he's like, okay, he's scanning and you know. I would say in the law of averages, he'll eventually find one or two, whatever, right? He'll catch one or two. Some of them, because let's say the way everything is, she actually cheats on Monday with the dude, right? But it's at a certain time. Well, no, well each time he would watching them 24/7, so that's a different story. But let's just say it just never fell. Him choosing however it worked out, right? Never fell on the time that she actually cheats with you know with maybe a consistent dude or whatever. So yeah, it's like all that money wasted, all this shit. Though I would be curious to see which girl remains faithful, right? But I don't need that. I don't. It's like that's the beautiful thing about the less you need, the more freed you are. Right? That's why I love being a minimalist. All right. But certain things you're still gonna need certain things, right? So I don't need that because ultimately this is where I'll just be men. It's like, and this is the danger for women is that like the way biology is set up, as she gets older, you're not gonna be attracted to her, right? And again, usually the sexless marriages and relationships happen long before they lose attraction, right? In certain cases, right? Because no matter how hot she is and how good she is as a personality, and you too, vice versa, you are going to want other sexual partners. It is what you got to accept it. So that's why, what do you create to make a win-win situation? This is what I created, right? If the woman happens to need money, you know, if you can find long-term female friends, you know, so I mean, look. Now I have this, okay? Most people barter within each other, okay? The difference, obviously, well, if you have male friends, right? You can't barter for sex because, well, unless you're gay or whatever. But I'm saying, yeah, right? We're talking about the usual, right? Because gays are a small subset. Yeah, that's basically the only difference. So basically, if you were to have this a girl that's a friend, right? And even if it is just that, even if that relationship, look, we all benefit from each other, right? Sometimes actually certain friendships, meaning you know platonic and same gender or whatever, are because some people are pushed within that group, and basically yeah they got the pushovers, you know, and so it's technically not fair. They're actually abusing that person's generosity or whatever, you know. But hey, the person's an adult and they will have to, that's their mission, to grow up and learn a healthy balance, right? Because some people will back off. Some people just don't even know because the other person is accepting it, right? And the other person sometimes doesn't even know that they're being abused because they're not quantifying it, right? They're not paying attention, you know, they're not paying attention to who they are or whatever. And okay, it may never be to the point where it leads them to like total self-destruction too, right? But there is, if it were to be quantified objectively monetarily the way the system is, you would see that there is a huge you know, disparity or whatever, you know. But hey, again, if they want to continue that relationship, it is what it is, right? So yeah, so if I had a if I had a girlfriend, and the only benefit of her friendship, of what my friendship with her is the sex, but she got, you know, she's like, oh, I need to help move. Okay, cool, right? But see, I would monitor that, right? Because I'd be like, okay, well, okay, I'll be monitoring. Okay, it's like, okay, well, I mean, every favor, see, it all depends. But basically, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be doing like crazy shit that's like very expensive skilled labor stuff, you know, like just little shit like, hey, my car broke down, can you pick me up? Okay, if I'm free, I'll go do it, you know. So whatever, as long, you know. So yeah, so basically, I don't pay direct cash. I pay with a little bit of time, whatever, this and that. But of course, as I get rich too, and more importantly, I have responsibilities to my tribe, which is my companies. You know, my fellow tribesmen, right? I'm their leader. It just doesn't benefit me to do that shit. It's like, I would just rather pay you. You know, obviously, ideally, she's just like, hey, I like you because you got good dick, and you also feed my ego because you're an important guy. That's how women work in general, right? They want to be associated to the whatever. Even though she knows I'll never take her seriously like that, whatever. Anyways, and to be fair, if a girl did do that and she did run into some trouble, right? She's like, oh, can I borrow $1,000, right? And she also wants to pay it back, not just like, oh, just give me $1,000. It's a different story, right? Yeah, I'll be like, all right, cool. You know, it's like, let's say I had sex with her 40 times already, right? Yeah, she got in a pickle. Okay, it's just friendship. Again, we all benefit. The reason why you don't associate the thing, because your guy friends, right? Your guy friends, or your ugly friends that are girls, you don't want them, right? And you actually have true same interest. You know, you just can't exchange those values. So anyway, so yeah, so this is why I created this, right? Let me kind of zoom in here. All right, domestic service provider agreement, right? Obviously, it's typical stuff, right? Name, blah, blah, blah. DSP agrees to provide domestic services selected below on consignment for X months, usually a year. Because there's some people that say, hey, marriage license should be basically up for renewal every year. Some people say 3 years, 5 years, whatever. The point is, you have to review your promise, and you can't fulfill it. As I was saying earlier, the simplest relationship, the most adult relationship is when you both say, hey, when you're ready, if you want to move on, that's fine. But my boundaries is definitely, I need monogamy, right? But yeah, but if you're ready to move on, you want somebody else, that's fine. I will not be mad. I will not hurt you, right? We'll split apart, you know. Now will they remain friends per se? And that's funny. That's a lot of people still do that, right? They just hopping back. Oh God, just humans are so funny. Anyways, let me finish this up. I gotta go to bed. Okay, so put Y for yes, yeah. So agrees to provide domestic service selected below on consent for X month, right? So will she home and food shopping? You know, will she go out and basically do that? Again, I don't personally need that, but again, I made this to cover, you know, hopefully all the bases. You know, if a guy wants her to cook, okay, cooking, right? How many times per day? How many times per week, right? Again, we have to get specific. This will avoid the fights, and also you're creating a way to monitor the performance of the relationship. You can't improve what you don't measure. You have to measure this shit, right? All right, so cleaning dishes, cleaning, you know, dishes, kitchen, bathroom, you know. So hey, if she doesn't want to clean the bathroom, she doesn't have to, right? And if you're like, you know what, okay, I'll clean the bath. That's not whatever, you know. Again, you're both two adults, negotiate, but I'm saying figure this shit out, right? Cars, lawn care, you know, of course usually that's men, but hey, if she's willing to do it and you're cool with it, it doesn't demasculate you, whatever. Massages, if yes, how many times? per week. This is very important for both of you. You both can benefit from this a lot. Sexual intimacy, one of the most important of them all, but I put it down here because again, how people and I would say the courts will look at this, right? But yeah, but the point, the hard part here is, if she defaulted on this and she wanted to sue me on this, would the court say, well, hey, yeah, you said you would do this, and I guess I got to put it on here. Well, see, I actually don't really care because it's going to be very temporary, and no matter, even if she put enthusiasm as the time goes on, yeah, it just can't be the high passionate love making like it was when you guys first met. You'll never ever be able to get that, and you'll never really be able to rekindle that, and that's why all these fucking couples go to therapy or they start doing crazier shit, because you basically, it's telling you need to move on. You need new sustenance. If people viewed sexual energy just like they view just like basically how food, the energy in food is, you need variety or you're not gonna be alive. You could be surviving, you'll be a zombie. Let's say you're a zombie versus you're like a thriving, fucking kicking ass, right, ever growing person. Anyways, secretary says business administration, right? So yeah, will she pay bills, whatever, blah blah blah, right? Let's just look at the formation of the relationship like a business. Okay, in this case, this is independent contractor. You're not actual partners. You can structure this as an LLC, right? And this would be your operating agreement, where everybody knows their roles and how basically profit is being divided. So in this case, right, you would be the one that's in charge for creating the revenue, and she would get X amount of whatever, right? So you structure, right? Companionship, right? Again, I really don't need that because it's very rare that women iron sharpens iron, and women usually don't have the skill sets, the experience, the desire, the passion for the things that I'm into, So, in exchange, client agrees to compensate domestic DSP with the starting capital of blank. In this case, what I'm doing now is basically $25K, and that produces about $50,000 a year salary. With starting capital of $25K and proprietary business information / mentorship, i.e. which. Proprietary business information, i.e. which automated done? Oh yeah, probably supposed to be which is. Yeah, an automated / done for you Amazon or Walmart service. See, now I changed that. I'm no longer providing that. I got this trading thing, this hedge fund basically. Providers to hire with the starting capital, or a Walmart service providers. To hire with the starting capital for DSP's rendered services, along which bank accounts to open and other crucial services to hire to make the e-commerce business run smoother and scale faster. So now it's just like, now put 2,500K, that and the actual hedge fund will be revealed to you, and because that's also important, and nowadays I'm gonna structure like, hey, there is this, but if you ask for anything from me that involves business information or mentorship or whatever, right, knowledge, wisdom, that's gonna cost you, right? So I'm like, okay, we're gonna trade the value on that, and right there they're gonna be in super negative. So they're probably, most of them will probably be like, what, okay, fine, fuck it. It's like, hey, you're the one that wants to make this a fucking business deal, all right? That's the price you have to pay if you want to make, if you want to go this route and make this money. But at least, hey, I'm freeing you, right? So, and there's other opportunity, right? They have my kid, then they also get this business information and mentorship and potential. Again, they can. I will put her in these deals that will give her long-term generational wealth, but she has to earn it. right? And I'm not saying this, hey, be faithful forever either. So I'm being super generous here. But like I said, even if I don't get, even if I don't find the 2 to 4 chicks that I'm looking at for this, doesn't matter. In about a year, I'll be able to start the adult film company. So yeah, I'm never offering this ever again. But again, I made it, and I'm gonna promote it still because a lot of guys need this, and women too. If these women were to present themselves like this to a lot of wealthy men, they would be very fucking impressed, ladies. So whoever you ladies watch this, you can thank me later, or you could pay me $1,000 to help you structure this stuff, because now I got better ones now, right? So I'm giving you like like say not as in depth one, and this is more for like men. I would pitch yours very differently, because there is like a whole script there, so. It doesn't matter if you wrote it. It doesn't matter if you feel that it was well articulated. Well, that's speaking on your behalf. You don't always have to be as articulate. Find someone that's already did the work. Why reinvent the wheel when you don't have to, right? So if client has extra cash, client will pay DSP a couple of $100 in advance so that DSP can treat herself. But it's either I give you some cash from time to time or pay for the dates we go on. In addition to that compensation, if DSP provides consistent high quality services and fulfills the terms of this agreement, DSP will also earn additional perks listed below. Client will also give DSP access to invest in client's future business opportunities and or private equity deals, access to blank % business loans, access to client business knowledge, client general knowledge, access to clients' blue and white collar skill sets at X via % discount if time allows. And if DSP goes out and finds another female sexual partner to bring sexual pleasure to the client, and DSP, I guess I would put here, if a DSP goes out and finds another DSP, that's how I'm gonna put it, because I don't know if that would make this prostitution or whatever. Fucking bullshit. I feel for you ladies, man. That's why I created this one thing called I'll talk about it later. I think it's I forgot what it's FF something. Anyways, should be compensated with an additional blank K, and if DSP agrees to provide client with a child, DSP will be compensated 1% of all clients' income from all sources for 18 years. Oh yeah, see, this is what I redrafted when I was doing it for the in-house and the potential other girl. And DSP can remain in the child's life or not, but DSP must sign full custody to client. Oh yeah, a lot of them, they really nitpick this whole kid and custody shit. Like, it's like, oh my god, it's just like, okay, whatever. Conditions: DSP can't go over blank weight, pounds of weight and body fat, and obviously body fat's more important. An initial weigh will be done and redone every month. If DSP needs to gain weight, she will have X weeks to reach a healthy weight, aka happy weight. Yeah, this definitely was when I created for the what's her face, and must maintain that weight, give or take blank of blank pounds, or compensation will be reduced by XK per month until goal is reached. But DSP can regain lost compensation if she builds functional muscles, i.e. can do 10 pull-ups and 10 dips and can hold in handstand for 30 seconds. If DSP goes over weight and or body fat, she will have X weeks to get back in shape, or it will be seen as breach of contract, and compensation will be reduced by X dollars for weight. I gotta work on that because I don't really like that structure. DSP cannot have sexual intimacy with other people for clients and DSP's health reasons. If caught, this agreement will become null and void. If a client gets an STD because of DSP's sexual misconduct, DSP will be financially responsible for all the client's treatment costs and vice versa. And if any money that has already been given will need to be returned, or DSP will be taken to court. If DSP finds a better client/deal client, I'll put, current client will not be mad or plot any revenge, but DSP can't come back if DSP's new client does not fulfill their contract. Financial abortion clause: DSP can't bring a baby to term if an accidental pregnancy happens, and waives all rights to child support unless given client's consent to bring the baby to term. A separate agreement will be drafted and completed for this, and a paternity test will be done as well. And if the child is not of the client's blood, if any agreement has been signed, will become null and void. Client will cover the cost of the abortion. So Plan Bs and shit like that. Yeah, so that's kind of an older draft. I gotta work on it. I thought I worked on it already. Anyways, so all right, I gotta get to bed. Hopefully you guys understand all this stuff. I know some guys have called me genius for this. Actually, some sugar babies have called me genius for it as well. I think hopefully I have that recording. Oh my god, what was her name? Jessica. Oh my gosh, she was the best. I haven't had such a good. I guess maybe it's because I recorded too, and just the way she just made love to my sausage, just like, I think I do have that clip. I gotta find it, man. You know, she was, yeah. She has some therapy she needs, right, for the men she has selected, but also the way she just views shit, you know. So, but still in bed, she did her thing. So, and you know, she definitely liked the anal. First, she was kind of against it, but you know, I treat all of them like ladies. I treat them like them if they were basically my wives. You know, I'm pretty vanilla, you know, and we usually end up getting into, you know, as we get to know, because each time you meet, you have a little bit more conversation, and yeah, you know, politics do come up. Sometimes it's just not even intentional, and then it's just revealed like, oh, okay, that's how you view the world. Okay, fuck. So we end up fighting. I lost so many girls because of that. And other reasons because, well, some of them actually, they had good coochie, and then they came one time and it was bad, and it's like, and by that time I was basically, what I observed, regardless of if we vibe or not, 3 or 4 times, and I'm basically bored of them, you know. So, anyways, peace out. Adult film, dog. Dogs. Ladies, hey, and if you're a lady that is sex positive and wants to do this and lives in the, you know, about, you know, 30 minutes from the center of Orlando for the most part, hit me up. Peace.